If you're still guessing your supply and demand zones, then you're trading on borrowed time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through my exact 4-step mechanical strategy so you know where to enter, where to place stops, where to take your profits, so you're not relying on a gut feeling. You're going to rely on strict rules. And I'll also show you how some traders still manage to blow their accounts trading this exact same idea and how you can prevent that from happening. Most traders think they have a strategy, but if you can't write out your rules on a single sticky note, then you don't have a system. You're gambling. Let me break down all of the fluff into 4 strict rules that you either follow or you don't. No discretion, no intuition, just a yes or a no. We'll take this one clean setup and literally break it down in real time. So afterwards, you can literally go onto your charts and mark it out the exact same way that I do. The exact same zone, the exact same entry, and the exact same stop loss, because it never changes. So let's go back to the start. The first thing we want to do is make sure that we're trading in the direction of the market. This is literally as simple as, are we going from the bottom left of our screen to the top right? You know, are we going in that upwards movement? And if so, we're going to be in the market for buys. Now that we've determined our direction, we're going to need to mark out our zone. Now this is so simple, and once you get it down, it's never going to change. The first thing we look for is a strong push to the upside, since we want to continue going upwards. And as you can see, we get that right here. And all we need to do is see where we shot off from. We can see that we shot off from down here. So to mark this out, we're going to mark out the last red candle before the green move to the upside, or gray in this example. And we're simply going to include the highest wick of this red candle and the lowest wick of the red candle or the green candle just after it. If it looks confusing now, literally try it a couple of times and it will become so much clearer. If the market was in a downtrend, so we instead wanted to look for sells, we'd want to go downwards, so we'd mark it out from the last green candle before that red move. It's not valid in this example, but I just want to make that clear for you. Anyways, now I've got that sorted, that is literally step 1 already out the way. Now let's move on to our second step, which is going to be a swing of liquidity. All liquidity is going to be is essentially people's stop losses. What you need to know is that the market doesn't want retail traders like us to win. And that's why we don't move like most retail traders do. Instead, we move with the literal market movers. This isn't stuff you need to know to start trading the strategy today, but I still think it's good knowledge to have. Anyways, most people's stop losses are going to be sitting on swings. So if we go forward a couple of candles, we can see a really strong swing of retracement just here. Now, a higher low is usually seen as a good place to place a stop loss. See, if we're in an uptrend, then people think we're not going to go lower than this point. But little do they know, a lot of people think like that. And the market doesn't want to reward all of these people. So we're going to be using these people as our liquidity for the market to take out before we come back down to our zone. But something we need to see before this is our step 3, another break of structure to the upside. If we were to only get to this point and then come down to our zone, we wouldn't have too much confirming that we want to continue to the upside. And additionally, our second step would be completely useless. That's why we want the market to break highs over to the left just here to confirm that we're going to continue going on to make higher highs, like an uptrend should. And once again, in another couple of candles, that is exactly what we get. And with this break of structure, that is step 3 complete, meaning we're already 75% of the way there. The only thing we have left to do is for the market to come back down to our zone. We get our entry, and then we make our money. So if we go forward, once again, that is exactly what we see. In terms of entry model, I'm going to start with our most simple, which is going to be the directional close, which is simply waiting for a candle to close in our direction. We want to go to the upside, so we wait for a green close, obviously after we tap our zone. And as you can see, that is already given to us. Stop losses are going to be just underneath the deepest wick inside of our zone. We don't expect price to come any deeper than this again, so it's going to be completely fine. And for gold specifically, our take profits are going to be up at a 1 to 4 risk to reward. All of our other instruments are going to be a 1 to 3 risk to reward. This is just how gold likes to behave, so we adapt. And as you can see, we're adapting for a good reason. In just one candle, and this is not a news candle or anything like that, we run straight to our take profit. And if you've been paying attention, literally all I've done is follow these 4 strict rules. So let's go through some examples and see this exact setup play out time and time again. Now, theory is completely useless without mathematical proof, and that's why this model has been tested over decades of data. I mean, this right here is only 2025's trades, but you can already see the trade frequency. Now for our first trade, let's start with a supply over here on NQ. Now for every single trade I go through, I'm going to be teaching you something new. So make sure you're taking notes so you don't miss another 1 to 3 risk to reward that could happen on your next trading day. And as always, I'm saving the best one till last. Anyways, let's go back to the start of the day and go through this step by step like we just did. Now coming into this market, it's very easy to say that we're bullish, but What's important to mention is that from this time just here, we don't make one piece of bullish market structure. As you can see, we don't make a higher high here. We then go on to break multiple lows over to the left, which is just very, very bearish of the market. And as you can see, a zone is already formed. If you remember, for a supply, we want to go to the downside, so it's going to be the last bullish candle for the bearish move. Once again, it sounds confusing, but once you go on to backtest just after this video, it will all make sense. So that is step one already checked, which takes us on to number two, which is our liquidity. We wait for that retracement that doesn't touch our zone. It's important to mention that this doesn't touch our zone, so take note of that. But as simple as that, that is already step two done. We're already halfway there. Let's go on to step three, which is going to be that break of structure. Now, if you remember for that previous demand example, we wanted to break structure to the upside since we want to continue going upwards. For a supply example, it's going to be the exact same, just the opposite. We want to continue going downwards, therefore we needed that break of structure to the downside. And it might seem like I'm making this more simple than it is, but I'm really not. Once we break this low, you can already tick step three off of our checklist. Those of you paying attention now know all that's left to happen is for us to come back up to our zone and for us to get our entry. So after a little bit of consolidation, we do exactly that. Now for our entry model, it's going to be the directional close again, and we want to go to the downside in this example since we're selling, therefore we wait for a red close. Stop losses just above the deepest wick inside of our zone. We don't expect the market to come up anymore, we just want to go downwards, with our take profits for all of our other instruments other than gold being at a 1 to 3 risk to reward. So that's going to be CL, ES and NQ like we see just here on a 1 to 3. And if you go forward, all the market wants to do is go down to our take profit. This swing back to the upside is nothing that is going to concern me. That's just pure market structure. And then we continue going and breaking lower lows since we're in a downtrend. Now, we've already hit a trade on gold and we've already hit a trade on NQ. Let's go over to CL now, so crude oil, and show you that this really does work anywhere. Now, this trade just here literally happened on the day after the one I just showed you. I just thought it would be important to mention that these literally do happen daily. Anyways, like we've done, let's go back to the start of our trading day and go through all of our confluences step by step. So back at the start of the day, we can see that we are clearly uptrending. Once again, we're going from the bottom left of our screen to the top right of our screen. It really couldn't be clearer. After we know we're in the market for buys, we need to see that zone formed. And after this really strong push to the upside, we can clearly see our zone just down here. Once again, for a demand, it's the last bearish candle before the bullish moves to the upside. After we've crossed number one off of our list, we just need to see that retracement for our liquidity to sit under, which is just going to be a visual swing. Now for this setup specifically, this happens multiple times, but I'm mainly going to be looking at this initial swing. This second swing is only going to be building my confidence. So that is step two checked off of our list. Now I've already broken structure to the upside for this first swing, technically meaning if we did come down to zone from here, then it would have been completely valid to take. But if we skip forward, we can see the market wanted to break this structure to the upside once again. So that is step three ticked off. Now, before we come down to our entry and get our fourth point, I want to add something to this. And this is a little confluence that you're going to see happen so much. On the way down, we can see this one bullish candle. Now, if you were in the mind of a normal supply and demand trader, this would look like a completely normal demand zone to trade off. Because once again, just remember, they don't have the clear-cut invalidations like we do. They don't have the strict entry models like we do. They're just relying on their intuition. Unfortunately, the market cares about data, and that's just something that these traders do not have. So after they get their entry models, price still wants to come down and stops them out. Why this is a confluence is because they're going to be placing their stop losses either below this candle or below this swing. And because liquidity is literally just people's stop losses, they're going to be making our liquidity stronger. Now, this isn't necessary for our setups to be valid, but it's just something to keep an eye out for to improve our win rate. Now, we've tapped our zone. Let's just wait for that directional close. It wasn't given on this candle since we closed bearish. It wasn't given on this candle since we closed bearish, but it was given on this candle since we closed bullish. We want to go to the upside, so we wait for a green close. So as always, that determines our entry price, stop losses below the deepest wick inside of our zone, and take profits, like we've mentioned, at a 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now that is literally everything we want to see, so the market has no reason not to just shoot off to our take profit. Like we see just here, it wicks our take profit perfectly. Now after we wick, the market does just come to the downside, and that just goes to show you how much testing has gone into these take profits. The more you talk to me or other people on this strategy, the more you're going to realize that everything just makes sense. Now, how fast can we scale a base account when we completely cut out human emotion and guesswork? Well, from the 3 trades that I've shown you in this video, we're already up 10%. And if that was on a 100k account, which is completely achievable on any prop firm, this is already going to amount to $10,000 in profit. So I think you can understand how insane it's going to be when you get this strategy under your fingertips. Now let's quickly run through a few more examples just so you're not missing out on any confluence or invalidation. Now, although this one does look a little bit different, let's quick fire through all of our confluences step by step. Firstly, we can determine that we're in a clearly downtrending market, so we're going to be in the market for sells. Afterwards, we get a strong push to the downside, confirming market structure by breaking these lows over to the left, and again creating that area of supply. Afterwards, we need to see that swing of retracement for our liquidity to sit on top of, which we get just here. And then all that's left is that break of structure to the downside, which we can clearly see just here. Now, liquidity cannot be too far from our zone. By liquidity, I mean the distance between our zone and this swing of liquidity just here. And one quick way of determining this is just seeing if it's more than halfway from the top of our supply zone to the bottom of the move. So from the top of this supply zone to the bottom of our move, how far is our liquidity? And as you can see, it's much closer than halfway. That's just a quick trick for all of you who have been on this strategy for a bit longer. But once again, we're 3/4 of the way there. We just need our entry model. Let's wait for that directional close. It's not given on this candle since we closed bullish. It's not given on this candle since we closed bullish, but it is given on this candle since we closed bearish. We want to go downwards, so we need that red close. And then we just shoot straight to our take profit. And you can see just how much the market loves these kind of zones. There's nothing else drawing the market to the upside, so we can just shoot downwards. Now let's go through one more textbook example. And the lesson for this one is going to be our take profits. After this trade, we're going to go through ways that we can prevent losses, which is going to be insane for keeping hold of your profits. And that in itself is going to be the key takeaway from this video. So stick around for that. As always, step by step, the first thing we need to see is market direction. We're breaking highs over to the left without really breaking any swings to the downside, which is going to be clear for an uptrend. So we're looking for buys. Next thing we need to see is a strong push to the upside. And with that, it's going to determine our demand zone, which is step 1. I hope you're taking off these confluences with me. Next, if you remember, it's going to be that swing retracement of liquidity, which we clearly get just here, which is going to be step 2. And afterwards, we just need a clear break to the upside. Unfortunately enough, this is a very clear break to the upside. If you've been paying attention and you really want this to work out, you must know that all we need to see now is that entry model. And once again, keeping stuff really simple, we want to go to the upside, so we're going to wait for that directional close. Stop losses below the deepest wick inside of our zone. But this time, in terms of our take profits, a 1 to 3 is pretty optimistic. It's nothing that I don't expect the market to hit, but because our stop loss is so big, I have a way of increasing our win rate. Since we've stated that liquidity is going to be sitting on swings such as this low, we can be confident that there's going to be a level of liquidity at this high just here. So if we bring our previous 1 to 3 just a tiny bit closer at a 1 to 2.5, we can see a significant increase in our take profits here, which is specifically tailored towards prop firms and how they like to pay out. That being said, afterwards we do just go on to hit that 1 to 3, but it's all about the longevity of your trading, not just the quick profits. Now, I've kind of been saying 1 to 4 risk to rewards, 1 to 3 risk to rewards so casually that I don't think you quite understand how much further this puts you forward than 1 to 1 risk to rewards. For a strategy like this one, which is around a 50% win rate, you can lose 3 entire times after you take 1 win. And for a 1 to 4 risk reward, you can lose 4 entire trades. So you can understand the kind of psychological pillow that this is going to give you. Next, if we were to look at 1 to 1 risk to rewards, for every loss you take, that negates 1 entire win. If you take 2 wins and 2 losses, then you're going to be back at square one. Whereas on this strategy, if you take 2 wins and 2 losses, you can still be 4% up, which is enough for an entire payout. Just wait for that textbook emotionless execution. The math simply does just play out. But what if you didn't have to scan the markets alone every morning to find these setups? Every single day, me and the VIPs trade together, sending every single trade we're looking at, every single reason we're not looking to take a trade. And I mean, it really does show. Literally earlier today, another VIP passed a 50k account, and they've been trading LSD for only 2 months. And I think been in the Discord for maybe 2 weeks. It doesn't take much to get to that next step. It just takes a tiny bit of clarity. And clarity is exactly what this strategy is going to give you. Once again, another winner earlier today, making a week's wage in only 20 minutes. And this shit is not uncommon. It literally happens like every single trading week. I also send my trade ideas. I do morning analysis every single morning, as well as free trade breakdowns in case you're not ready to take that next step yet. So if you don't want to trade with us and the VIPs, I at least hope to see you over in that free Discord. There'll be links to these just down in the description. Now, just like any other strategy, we're still going to take losses. Yes, our losses might not mean as much as other strategies, but there's still going to be ways to negate them. And we've already talked about a couple, but let me run through a few more. First being market structure. As you can see, I've just marked out this loss just here. And although a lot of you might say, yes, we did get breaks to the upside and we are rejecting off of a key level. If you don't know what those are, you don't really need to worry. What I'm always going to say is that you need at least 2 swings in either direction for a confirmation of a change of bias. As you see here, we only really get 1 strong swing. What I'd much prefer to see was this swing formed and then we get another swing on top of that. And then maybe our zone was formed up here. Now, that being said, since we paired it with this key level over to the left, we did get that directional bias correct. We shot to the upside before continuing to the downside even more. But however clean the setup itself is, it still would have lost because we're not going with the overall market direction. So always make sure to look out for that. Now let's go through a few more confluences that you need to note down. One that we've already been through is that our swing of liquidity cannot touch our zone. If the liquidity was to touch our zone before we then go on to break the structure to the upside, then it's already given the market movers that we're copying a chance to get in at this price. Meaning, even if we did shoot to the upside and then come down to our zone, there's a much lower chance that we'd get the rejections that we see here. So liquidity cannot touch our zone. Additionally, candles cannot close inside of our zone before we get our entry. Now this is all to do with rejections. If we close inside of our zone, then we can't be confident that market movers are buying off of it. At least not enough. Like with this setup just here, we get insane lower wicks showing great rejections. And if we didn't have our entry models, then we likely just would have got a shit entry. Just see this huge wick right here as a footprint that investors liked this price. If you want to go more into the why of this strategy, then I do have other separate videos on that specifically, as well as the option to always message me over in that VIP room, since I'm always going to be active. And our third and final anti-confluence, a reason to stay out of a trade, is going to be the size of our zone. This demand zone down here is a great example of a finely sized zone. It's a great size in proportion to the entire setup. However, if this zone was instead, let's say, this big, then we're not going to be anywhere near as confident that this wick inside of our zone is where the investors actually wanted to buy. Therefore, there's a much higher chance that price just comes deeper, they get their entry, and then we shoot off from here, leading to more and more fake outs. And this is something that gurus are never ever going to teach you. Not only how to win trades, but how to avoid losses. Realizing that losses are going to happen is going to be step 1 to becoming a consistently profitable trader. So I'm never going to hide that simple truth from you. In fact, I'm going to push it. Now you have everything you need to go and test this model out for yourself. And if you want to trade with me and the VIPs every single day, then there is that Discord just down below. If not, subscribe and like so I can see you in the next one. Peace.